Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I am the host of this show. So, we're here to do an episode of New Prog Album. And the album I've chosen is Textures Genotype, is the name of the album. So, this is a Dutch band. I guess you would call them a kind of progressive metal band, although they do have some thrash feels to their music as well. Overall, though, I think pretty much a metal band with that prog feeling to it. So I would say, first of all, this album was released January 23rd, 2026, so just a few weeks ago. It's about 44, almost 45 minutes in length on the KS Scope label and produced, or more or less mixed, by Forrester Savel. Oh, sorry. I thought I had something there I was supposed to bring up. I didn't. Okay, so the band includes Daniel de Jong on vocals, Bart Hennefoff on guitars, Joe Tal on guitars, Remco Tielmans on bass, Yuri Ditch on keyboards, Steph Brooks on drums, and then you have guest Charlotte Wessel on vocals on The Edge of Winter, which is the second track on the album. So there are a total of 8, I believe. Yeah, 8 tracks in total on the album. Like I said, pretty much a symphonic, progressive metal album. Lots of synth here. It's very synthesizer driven. The background is heavy synthesizer. You have some heavy guitar riffs at times on here as well. Drums are forward at times, but not always at forward. Sometimes they're a little bit more backgroundish. And the vocals have a very heavy synthesizer feel to them, like they've been fed through the synthesizer. At times they're a little bit raspy, a little bit more raw, but a lot of the time pretty synthesizer, like they've been fed through a synthesizer. The female vocals are quite good here, though, even though there's only on one track. They should have had her do a few more tracks if they could have. I thought she was very good. So overall, I would say that it's a pretty strong symphonic metal album, but I'll break the tracks down now. So the opening track, which is called Void, has no vocals. It's almost about 4 minutes in length, not quite. Opens with a nice piano and symphonic build up behind the piano. And you got this very heavy guitar noise and keys at points throughout the beginning of the song, which continues at different points throughout the song. Very, very strong symphonic build up on this track. The drums and guitar fillers are not bad. It's pretty decent. But this is probably the weakest track on the album. I think mainly because of the no vocal part. Next up is The Edge of Winter. This track's about almost 7 minutes in length as well. This also features Charlotte Wessel on vocals, along with Daniel de Jong. It's got that nice heavy symphonic opening, very heavy drum beat at times as well. Vocals are, again, synthesizer fed, and then the range for the male vocal, at least, is mid-range. For the female vocals, in mid-range, but clear and forward sounding. I think she's a little bit stronger in this area than he was on this particular track. I think this is a little bit commercial sounding song with a kind of a metal riff going on. So it's kind of a metal commercial sounding song. Very symphonic driven. I think this solo is solid, not great, but solid and very forward. Lots of synthesizer parts backing it. So I find when they play a lot of synthesizers like that, it's almost like they're trying to cover up something, but nothing really to hear to make that assessment. But that's just my feeling about it. The vocals become a little bit clearer towards the back part of the track. So that one was a pretty decent song. Next up is the Measuring of Heaven, the Heavens. This one's almost 7 minutes as well. Low keyboard synthesizer opening. It's like it's coming in slowly. The vocals are mid-range, raspy, not yeah, pretty decent to understand them. They're not too distorted, so you can't hear them, but pretty decent that way. The guitar riff is more stern and picks up as the song goes along as well. The symphonic guitar riff starts to take over towards the back half of the track as well. This is a very heavy progressive sound to it as well. Guitars at times are beefy and bitey, at least the riffs are anyways. Next up is Nautical Dusk. The song's about 5.5 minutes in length. Heavy guitar, heavy synthesizer sounds. The vocals are symphonic, clear, but also very raspy at times. Heavy machine gun-like guitar riff that they institute fairly close to the quarter mark of the song and maintain it. The vocals are multi. Feels like the sound is almost suppressive, like they're kind of keeping it back almost, and the guitar picks up and almost becomes like a speed metal type track towards the back half. That's the front half of the album. The back half of the album, I think, is a little bit stronger on the whole. Vanishing Twin is the next song, so I'm almost 6 minutes in length. Nice twin opening, very computerized, symphonic, almost symphonic light type sound going on. Heavy, fast-paced guitar riffs. The vocals are revert to this heavy, raspy, crispy kind of sound, or grispy kind of sound, or grasping kind of sound. Lots of different stuff going on there. I would say it's pretty dominated by this sound. The song has a very spacey-like feel to it. It's almost a spacey rock song. Lots of heavy distortion throughout this particular track. I like this track. It's probably the best song on the back half of the album. Next up is Closer to the Unknown, another heavy guitar riff, opening with a synthesizer background. You get this synthesizer background with that guitar riff in front of it. The synthesizer background gets bigger as the song goes along. The vocals are harsh, raspy, with some growly parts here too. So these last three songs have growly parts to them, which you don't normally, that I wasn't expecting. It kind of took me by surprise. The vocals are dominant, forward, but forward and dominant, but not overly fantastic, I guess is a good way to put it. Very symphonic, almost atmospheric sound going on here. It's the solo heavy, distorted, and gravelly. Next up is A Seat for the Like-Minded. This is about 5 minutes in length. The previous track, of course, was about 4 minutes in length. This is a slow melodic vocal part with the keys as kind of backgrounding. It turns into a heavy guitar riff as the song moves along. Some growl vocals here as well. The guitar picks up tempo, and the drums are more noticeable, I guess. The final track on the album, Walls of the Soul, is also the longest track, just under 8 minutes in length. Symphonic opening with a nice complex drum part to it. The song begins to build as the instruments are added. So they add one instrument after another, creating a much larger sound than it had at the beginning. Catchy drum fill. The song has some parts that are, of course, very symphonic. The vocals are clear but distorted and have that bit of that synthesizer sound built in with them too. It has a bit of a symphonic, almost symphonic beat going on. So they're trying to almost bombard this song with synthesizers, I think. Vocals are very loud and also very symphonic. More growl vocals here, not as much as the previous two tracks, but a little bit here. And towards the back half of the song, once it gets over the 6-minute part, I think it starts to drop off and starts to slow down and starts to get less noisy and less stuff going on. Yeah, overall, this was probably one of the weaker tracks. So the opening track and the ending track, the bookend tracks, not as strong as the rest of the album, but it's not a bad album. I don't know if it's something I would buy. It might be a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. A little bit too much a little bit too much synthesizers, and a little bit maybe too much of that progressive metal sound that I'm not as big a fan of. But overall, decent enough album. So the album that we were talking about, just in case I didn't say it, and I think I did, but I may not have, is called, I went too far back on the list, and now I've gone too far forward. Yeah, this is no, I can't even find it now. I lost it. Got too many. Oh, here it is. Genotype. I couldn't remember the name of the album. The band is Textures. The album is Genotype. Decent enough. Netherlands progressive metal album. If you like that kind of stuff, I'm sure you will find this appealing. Anyways, please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to, you can leave any comments about the album or about any of the stuff I've said in the comment section below. I'll gladly answer any questions as well. So take care, have yourself a good evening, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.